You're listening to the best travel podcast ever with Erik Hastings.
Well, that's very true, and I really appreciate you listening. As a matter of fact, the best travel podcast ever can be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to fine audio. And if you're listening for the first time, here's some good news. We spend our time talking about where to go, what to do, and what to see, how to do it on your next vacation, all with the idea of hopefully, well, getting you out there and experiencing the potentially life-changing positive power of travel. Now, I know some of you may say, well, it sounds a little corny, but you know what? There are so many, I can't. Because today, we're going to talk about Reno, and we're going to talk about a little Tahoe, but mostly Reno. And the reason I wanted to do that today is to, number one, address some of the haters. All right, let's talk critics. Before we even get started, does Reno have some economically challenged neighborhoods? Well, I'm sure it does. Does Reno have crime? Well, I would imagine so, although I didn't even bother to look it up this morning. Why? Because that's not what this podcast is about. I don't think you really want to spend your time listening, or in this case, watching, because you can actually see this on YouTube as well, programming that talks about where not to go. But if that is something you're interested in, I can give you an insider tip. Here is one place not to vacation. Are you going to write this down? Are you ready? This could change your entire life today, right now. Your couch. Yeah, I said it. That's right. Yeah, don't stay home. I encourage you to get on a plane, get on a boat, get on a train, drive there, walk there, run there, because you never know which one of these trips is going to change your life forever. And that's true, which is why Charles Harris is here. He is the newly named CEO of the Reno Sparks Convention and Visitors Authority. I think I got it right. Charles, good to see you, man.
Good morning. Thanks for having me here this morning.
It's my pleasure. And thank you for being here today to talk Reno. Did I understand this correctly? This is a relatively new position for you. Is that right? Did I read that right?
It is. I'm here just about a year.
Yeah.
Joined a new organization in a new city during the pandemic. So it's been an amazing opportunity, but also trying to navigate without a playbook during COVID, which is certainly interesting.
Aren't we all? Isn't that true? First question off the bat, when you began to look around at this potential opportunity, I mean, look, you're responsible for marketing the destination. You're responsible for getting everybody together and really putting your best foot forward. What was it that struck you right off the bat about Reno, about the region? I know it's a regional area, but let's start Reno and work our way out. What was it? Do you mind answering that?
No, I think let's talk the region, because that is what really appealed to me. If you look at our name for the consumer, the consumer is going to look at us as Reno Tahoe, right? That's our name. If you go to visit renotahoe.com, that's where you're going to find all our information, right? And so it's a combination. You have the lake, which is, and we'll talk a little bit about it, which is one of the most amazing lakes in the entire country.
Yeah.
And that's in our backyard. You're talking about a 35-minute drive from Reno to Lake Tahoe. So that by itself is one amazing segment. The second is, in the Reno area, we're known here for three different things, and this absolutely appealed to me. We're known for gaming, which has been here for a long time.
Yeah.
We've become known for the outdoors. Whether you're going skiing up in the mountains that are very close, literally I can drive 20 minutes from Reno and go local skiing, which is just phenomenal.
Nice.
The hiking, the biking, the outdoors here are phenomenal. And we'll touch on that a little bit, but that's played as part of the pandemic really well for us as consumers look.
Yeah.
And the third thing is, we're really known for festivals. We have more than 100 festivals a year that take place here. And happy to talk about that, which people may or may not know. We might be the festival capital of America.
Well, if you aren't, you said you are today. So there you go.
That type of thing absolutely appealed to me as far as a destination and having a unique place that can market and sell to both the leisure visitor as well as for meetings and conventions.
And I would imagine, too, especially on a meeting and convention, people come for a few days because they were, quote unquote, required to, and then they come back. When they come back to spend more time, maybe they brought the family this time, What do they tell you that they were surprised by? What do they tell you they loved the most? I mean, I realize we touched on the three major areas. Anything
Yeah.
off the top of your head?
Um, I think when people come here, they're surprised how amazing this part of the region is because
Yeah.
either they haven't been here in a long time or they had a certain perception. And when you're able to touch and feel a destination like Reno Tahoe, you fall in love with the area because it offers a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And so for folks that come, they are pleasantly surprised, and I always hear, and we're coming back. And
Right.
so that really speaks to how the welcoming and the organic growth of this area is changing, and we're growing at a really fast pace, and that means that people come as a tourist and a visitor, and a lot of them say, "Oh, I want to move there now because it speaks to me."
Well, I was going to say people move not only with their own free will, but they'll also move. They also move for business. They move for industry. You know, if you guys can prove that, which of course is not necessarily square in your wheelhouse, but if you can say, look, this is a place to do business, move your company here, open an office here, and that also was surprising to me. I was surprised at the number of tech companies that are opening offices there.
Yeah, we're one of the top places that tech companies are moving to right now. We have, I believe it's, if not the largest, one of the largest battery plants for Tesla in the entire country.
Yeah.
You've got Switch, you've got Google, you've got Microsoft, you've got a lot of companies that the proximity to the West Coast in California, the benefits of the tax base, the growth in the space that we have, it's an absolute opportunity. And our folks on the economic development side are doing a tremendous job by helping to grow and diversify our economy here.
Well, and a lot of people too, they may know Tahoe, Lake Tahoe, they know that, but they may not know exactly how to tackle Lake Tahoe, which is an interesting, if you're not from that part of the country, you're just not as familiar with it. Help us out a little bit in terms of this side versus that side versus
Sure.
what are we going to find while we're there? I mean, it's so close.
Well, there's one Lake Tahoe, but to your point, there's two sides, right? There's the California side and the Nevada side. The area that that we work with the most is the Incline Village side. It's the north side of Lake Tahoe. It's a little quieter. It is majestic. I mean, if you want to go drive around the lake, it's going to take you an hour and a half or 2 hours to drive all the way around the lake.
Right.
And it is an amazing, amazing drive, scenic with places to stop and nooks and crannies all over the place, and then just get on the lake. It's clear, it's blue, it's amazing, and it's a great complement to Reno. I mean, what you actually have is two different destinations within the same area.
Right.
You've got the city and the outdoors in the Reno area, and then you've got the lake and Lake Tahoe, and that certainly provides a lot of opportunity for folks.
I think a lot of people, too, from time to time, certainly in certain profiles, me being one of them, is a little concerned with, well, I don't know what I'm going to do while I'm there, and I'm a little concerned that I'm going to be bored. You know, once I get past the gaming, after I lose, my $25,000 to $30,000 discretionary fund in the casino, then I wonder, how's the food? What else am I going to do while I'm there? I think that's something that you guys answer very well. How do you answer that?
Well, certainly from the opportunity. The research all told us during the pandemic, people wanted to be in the outdoors. They wanted to be in safe places where families are. We have some of the best hiking trails. And now, my passion when I'm not working is photography.
Yes.
And having photography in this part of the world outdoors, it is the colors out here right now with the changing of the season is incredible. So people that like the outdoors are going to love this area. I mentioned festivals, 100 different festivals. So we have the largest free air balloon festival in the country here. We've got air races. We've got street vibrations. We have the rib cook-off that brings people from all over the country. And dang it, it is good stuff. So festival after festival happens here, and it's really been built for both locals and visitors. And from an economic standpoint, we are a great option that's not going to break the bank, that allows you to experience. As a matter of fact, if you walk downtown in Reno, there's the Truckee River that runs right through downtown.
Yeah.
And having that access, it is amazing. So whether it's food, we've got steakhouses that are endemic to the area, right? You've got national chains, which are great, but you've got local food eateries that people love and have been nationally ranked that people can experience. So you've got food, you've got the entertainment with gaming, you've got concerts, you've got festivals. That part really speaks to the folks that want to come and experience this region.
I think you and I make a good combination, a good tag team, because you can take pictures of the scenery, and I will take pictures of the ribs. which,
There you go.
I would do
You know what?
that.
You eat away, and I'll capture that as you do that.
Oh, very
So
good. You picked up on something too. You reminded me of time of year. I think some of us forget that Reno is really a four-season destination. How do you define that? Do you have a peak season and a shoulder season, or how do you break that out?
yeah, I mean, like many destinations, when people go back to school at the end of August, beginning of September, I would say that's the start of the shoulder season.
Hmm.
But what's nice is that we've got a lot of hotel product here that is not big chains, so you get authentic facilities that
Yeah.
can deliver that experience. I
No,
mean,
I'm
we do
glad.
have some select service hotels,
Yeah.
but you have really big properties that service both from the entertainment, food, and that gaming experience. So it is absolutely unique, and what travelers want today is an experience to live like locals. And so what you don't have is you don't have lots of national stuff here. So if you want the local pizza place or the barbecue place or uh, whatever that food item is, you're going to have a lot of non-chains that can service you here.
Right. And as you said before, nothing wrong with a chain, but again,
Nothing wrong.
people are looking for that. They really are looking for that combination of on the beaten path versus off. And Reno is one of those towns. It's interesting to me. Reno had a choice a number of years ago. They could have just been Reno and stayed Reno and not diversified, not grown, kind of maintained that. It had its unique charm back in the day. But what's interesting is I think a lot of people don't realize is that it really has grown and it really has diversified in terms of meeting the demand of a lot of people. You've got great air service as well. So not only can you drive there, but it's easy to fly there on both the low-cost carriers and also the legacy carriers. So I always like to see that, because it's, again, easy, easy, easy.
Yeah, two quick points for you. We have more airlift coming in and out of Reno now than we've ever had ever. And that goes back to the days when Reno Air was headquartered here. We have more airlift now than ever, as a lot of the airlines are looking for destinations like Reno, where people are looking to do something a little different. Right? The big cities have had their day; they will always have their day.
Yep.
But people are looking for different experiences, and
Yeah.
so whether you're flying, Southwest, American, United, JetBlue, Alaska, all those Delta, they all serve Reno.
Mhm.
And the fact is we have more lift coming in here than ever before, which is phenomenal for folks that are beyond the drive market. The second thing I would tell you is there was just a survey that came out that ranked Reno in the top 100 places to live in the U.S. We actually finished number 41 by livability, and they do an annual survey. They look at, I think, 9 different factors
Yeah.
of where that are important for people where they live. Last year we were in the 80s. We've now jumped to 41, and so it's the little secret that we once were is not so much a little secret anymore. People are absolutely discovering whether they want to come visit or come live here.
Got it. Well, again, we're sort of ticking off the boxes here. Easy to get to. And again, it sounds like a softball interview. I mean, really, but at the end of the day, I mean, it is what it is. That's one of the things that I love about the town. And I haven't been in probably, 8, maybe even closer to 9 years. But I watch and I read and I look at what's going on out there. And it really is easy to get to. Price points with the lodging, so it doesn't matter what type of lodging you're looking for, you've got it, and plenty to do. How about duration of stay? First-time visitor, what do you recommend?
Depends upon the interest. I mean, one of the things that I don't want to talk about is we're not trying to be all things to all people, right?
Got it.
So the core things that I talked about are really in our sweet spot of what we're known for. The festivals, the gaming, and the outdoors. It really depends upon what speaks to the visitor, family versus a guys or gals weekend. It really depends upon what that looks like. I mean, you could spend lots of time, gambling and having that experience in the casinos, which is great. You can combine that with the outdoors. You're into Shakespeare. There's a summer Shakespeare festival that happens
Well,
every.
you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that too, and I know we have to go too. But just before we go, when we say gaming, immediately we say casino. Immediately we think non-family, which that's fine. But the reality of it is, you certainly could come to the region. You certainly can come to Reno itself and not step foot in a casino with your family.
Well, let me just speak to families. We do a huge market for amateur sports here.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the most amazing places is there's a sports facility in the city of Sparks, which is right next to Reno. And that facility is booked 97% of the time.
Wow.
It is families, it's kids playing baseball and lacrosse. And quite honestly, in our convention center, there's a huge volleyball movement that comes here every year.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of family activities, whether it's organized or informal, that does fit to that market as well.
Well, Charles, I think we couldn't have done this any better. What do you think?
I think it's about time you come to Reno and come experience the area if it's been so long. And we'll make sure you get a little ribs along the way as well.
Oh, I love it. Now you're speaking my language. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you doing this.
Happy to do so.
All right. What's the website real quick before we go? I didn't write it down.
Visit renotahoe.com.
You're listening to the best travel podcast ever with Erik Hastings.